Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. If you're new, my name is Georgia. Welcome, welcome. So, as you could tell from the title, we are going to do a recap and a review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 20, titled Sex, Lies, and Videotape. So, last episode we left off where we had Chris, Martell, and Fred at the new job site that Martell and Fred are building. They were talking about, Chris wants to be the one to list and sell the property. Martell said he's not sure if he's going to sell it. It's not even built yet, but they have 3 months and 4 days to finish. And Chris wants to be the broker to actually sell the property or sell the house. At that same meeting, they were talking about the dinner that Chris and Nell had with Marsau and Tisha, and they were talking that Marsau made the statement about who's in charge of Scott now or something to that effect. Martell got upset because basically saying he put them on. They were nothing before them. He's upset about the fact that he's not getting the recognition or the appreciation that he feels he deserved. He's like, as a matter of fact, I probably should just send him back to go work at the movie theater as a manager. So that's basically his whole attitude about the fact that Marsau is not thanking him publicly for everything that he's done for him and Tisha. So now, after that meeting, we have Tisha and the girls. We see them. They got their first order for their hair care line. So I believe they're at a friend's house and they're doing like an assembly line where they're packing stuff. The little girls don't want to be there because, they look at this as work. It's not fun to them. So they don't want to be there. But Tisha is making sure that they find out or learn the importance of being business owners. We have Marsau come and he doesn't make it any better. He's here criticizing them about their setup, this needs to be more streamlined. So he asked Tisha, how is it done? She's like, Macy is printing the labels and putting them on the package. Mila is putting the items in the bag. I'm making sure that everything is good and then putting it on the sofa. And he still feels that that's not enough. I mean, they're just learning. They're just starting. Give them a chance to, get it done. Make it fun. These are kids. Kids don't know anything like about, kids their age. All they want to do is just have fun. So, okay, at one point, Tisha let them know that it's time for a break. So the girls go on their break, and now she and Marsau are talking, and they're talking about the recap of what happened at the town hall meeting regarding the Black Business Expo. The fact that Stormy called Marsau out of his name, which I feel is very disrespectful, and she did it twice there, and she did it twice again at the baby reveal. So Marsau is not feeling her. He's saying that, he's never been disrespectful in that way, where he is saying that, business is not in a woman's place. He said when it comes to relationship, there's a role, gender role of women and men. But when it comes to business, business has no gender, which I agree with him. And I don't think Stormy was right in calling this man out of his name in 2 different occasions, and Tisha did nothing about it. So apparently, I guess production did film a scene where Tisha met up with Stormy, and Stormy was like, you don't like when I call him that, do you? Tisha's like, no. She's like, well, do you want me to stop calling him? Tisha's like, yeah. I'm like, why is Stormy the one to initiate the questions or whatever? Tisha, you should be telling this woman, listen, this is my husband. He is not a bee. Do not call him out of his name. Stand up for your man, girl. Let her know. You can't back down from any and everything. When people come at you, Tisha, you're too nice. You're too soft in some things. But there are things that there should be certain boundaries, certain standards that you don't let people cross. And this is one of them. It's supposed to be you and your husband in a unit. Make sure that you stand up for your man. I mean, yes, stand up for him, even if he's wrong. And in private, you tell him, baby, this is not how it's done. Everyone should know that this is a unit that cannot be broken. And that is what Stormy was testing. So they filmed that scene. Stormy said, "Oh, okay, I'll work on it, but I've been this way. I've been a little bit since I was 4 years old. Who remembers what you were doing at 4 years? I can't. Is your life that traumatic that you can remember what being 4 years old was like? Oh, wow. So now Marcel is talking to Tisha about it. He's like, honestly, I don't want to be associated with anybody that way. That's that disrespectful. He's like, I say my things out of jest, but it's never in a disrespectful way. I always come back at people and try to make it's fun. But I don't want her to be in our circle. And Tisha was like, but I like Stormy. And Tisha was like, can you just not jab at these women when we're in these meetings, similar to what happened at the town hall meeting? And Marsau was like, if in retrospect, if it was another meeting, I would not change a thing about it, and I'll do it again. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is something else. And he says it with such a serious face. Like Tisha was like, oh my gosh, I guess she already knows what her husband is like, because it didn't even faze her when he said that. He says, I'll do it again. In retrospect, I will do it again. Oh gosh. So that was the meeting with Tisha and Marsau when they were packaging the girls' orders. So they got 175 orders for their hair care line, which is nice. Good job. Hopefully the business is still going. Just keep promoting, girls. It'll get there. Consistency is the key, they say. So now we see Kimmy and Andrea. I think we've met Andrea before. I think we met Andrea when Kimmy was getting ready to do her surgery and do chemo, and she cut her hair off. I believe that Andrea was there with her when she's doing that. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's her best friend. So Drea comes over. I'm gonna call her Drea. So Drea comes over now, and she brings she's talking to Kimmy about her recovery. Kimmy's telling her about the conversation she had with Maurice when they went bike riding, and he's telling her that the feelings she's having is all in her head, and the sex life needs to be better. And remember, Kimmy was telling him, listen, dude, I'm ill. I'm going through some stuff. I just need some time. So Drea was telling Kimmy that she could not really understand what was happening, but she did bring Kimmy some gifts in order for her to kind of spice up their lives. Kimmy told her that, listen, the one I had similar to this fell in the toilet bowl and it had to flush, so I don't mind having more. We have a lot of toys, so we'll just add these to the stack. Drea was saying that maybe you guys need some more therapy, like, couples therapy, about 12 weeks. She told her that her and her husband did it and it worked wonders for their marriage. She also told Kimmy that, she also did a sexy photo shoot for her husband, and that was nice. So she's just giving her some ideas to help her, help spice up her relationship with Maurice. And in a roundabout way, from the conversation that she's having with her friend, we already know that Maurice is hard-headed. He have his thoughts that he have, and that's it. You can't really change his mind. He'll say one thing in public, and then when he gets home, it's all dashed to the wayside. He'll just go back to what he believes, and that's it. So that was the conversation between Drea and Kimmy. Drea was just trying to give Kimmy some ideas and help her out with what's going on with her and Maurice. So now we have Marsau and Tisha. They are getting ready. They are in the middle of filming a promo video for an event that they're planning at Blaque Cigar and Lounge. They're planning to have a casino night, and part of the proceeds from the casino night, and the theme is Bet on Blaque, BLAQUE, is part of the proceeds is gonna go to the MLS Foundation, they said, and specifically for a foundation they have called Every Child Deserves a Place to Call Home. So they're doing a photo shoot now, and Marsau is telling Tisha to, look sexy, act like you're single, don't pose like you're a housewife, and he just did criticize it. I think if Marsau had left the room and just left Tisha And the couple that they hired to do the promo, I think if they had just Marsau had just left the room and left Tisha to do it, it would have been fine. And then, bring him back in when it's time to do the couple thing. But he just kept criticizing her or whatever. And she just couldn't get it right. She was telling him, flirt with me. And she was like, I don't know how to do that. She's like, it's a good thing I didn't have to flirt with you to get you to marry me. So they had a little fun with that. And then they said they wanted the theme to be like a James Bond kind of casino night where they have valet parking and stuff. Everybody dresses in their best and, gowns and tuxedos and stuff like that. That's what they were looking to have. They were looking to ask for some sponsors. And like I said, part of the proceeds they said would be to go to this foundation that they have. So they got through it eventually. And that was good. But I think on social media, I don't think they actually went through with the event. I don't know what happened, but I don't think they actually went through with the event. But that was the photo shoot with them doing it. They look like they had fun doing it, except for that little part where it's a little bit cringy, where Marsau kept criticizing every pose that Tisha made. So that was the gist of the photo shoot. And I think that the production spent a long time on this scene, more than necessary, and I think it was only done because everyone is saying that Love and Marriage Huntsville is a big promo for Melody's business, because most of the time every time you turn around, Melody is promoting a new project that she's working on, and they cover it. And the other couples are not getting that type of screen time, that type of recognition. So I think that's why they actually spent so much time on this one scene, which I think was unnecessarily long. So that's what we have with Marsau and Tisha. Now we have Marsau and Martell. Marsau goes over to visit Marsau goes over to visit Martell in the house that he refused to leave, that Chris let him rent. And Marsau said he's going over to talk to Martell about, what's going on. I guess production's like, listen, you two need to get together to talk about what happened at dinner with Chris. So they were in there talking for a little bit. They were like, touching base. So what's going on with you, dude? Marsau is like, oh, I got a project going on. I'm working with AutoZone. And he congratulated Martell on the new home build that he's doing. He said I forgot where he said he heard about it, but he congratulated Martell on that, the fact that he's still in the game, he's getting back in heavily, and it's good to see. So now we have a phone call coming in from Chris, and Chris Fletcher is something else. Chris be just showing up without. You can't say he didn't call first, even if he's calling from in the front yard. He's calling. So Chris is outside the house, and he's like, Martell, I'm outside. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm putting up the for sale sign on the property. And Martell was like, but I thought you said it was sold. Why are you putting up a for sale sign? And this is all on the phone, he's right outside the door. So Chris is like, well, I did sell it to this one guy. I'm guessing this guy is flipping it now, and now he's selling it to another guy. So they want to sell it again. So I guess this is a flip for whoever owned the property. I think they just wanted Martell out of that motherfucker. They just wanted him out, and they were just coming up with stuff to get him out of there. So he's doing all of this on the phone. At one point, Martell just went and opened the door like, this is what we're doing? This is what we're doing now, huh? So, I don't know why I found that whole scene to be funny. So he's like, come on in. So now they start talking. And Marsau's still there. He's like, hey, Marsau. He's like, yeah, yeah, whatever. At one point, he's like, you brought back the conversation that we had to Martell, and you brought it back in the wrong way. No, he said you brought it back precisely or something. I forget exactly what was said. But Marsau was throwing shade. So at one point now, somehow they stopped talking about Martell wanting to leave, or Martell needing to leave the house. He went into the confessional at one point. He's like, yeah, I understand that they want to sell the house, but I ain't leaving until I find somewhere to go. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's difficult. So they get back in there now, and Marsau and Martell get back to the conversation about, Martell helping out Marsau and Tisha as far as, we put you on, you need to be more respectful, you need to thank us more than you're doing, and so on and so forth. And Marsau is like, I didn't realize that it was that type of friendship. When we start at the point where we start counting coins and who did what for whom, I didn't know we were at that point. He's like, I thought this business was 50-50. He said at one point, Scold was in the negative. And Martell was like, yes, I know that. And that's when I started putting more money in. Martell was like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, one day you came to me and you told me that we're running out of money. So I started putting more money in. Martell was like, nope, never happened. And he was like, the company was really losing money. And we were in the negative. So I don't understand what you're talking about. You help me. And then somehow it turned around where Marsau is asking Martell, didn't I lend you money? Martell was like, what are you talking about? That never happened. And Chris is just sitting back listening to all of this. He was like, I lent you money at one point, whereas I didn't even tell Tisha about it. Tisha didn't even know that I lent you money. Yes, you paid it back, but at the point I didn't tell my wife that I was lending you money. Martell was like, you have your bankruptcy going, and you didn't even talk about it until I started talking about my bankruptcy. Marsau again, like, you a lie. I talk about what's going on. You and Mel act like y'all didn't have no problems in your marriage, and you guys were going through it and whatever. And Martell was like, yes, we didn't talk about problems in a marriage because we didn't have any problems going on. So they were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Till finally Chris said, enough is enough. Stop it. There's no need for y'all to go all like this because y'all be going on forever. And then they were like, okay, we're going to squash it and move on. So I guess they just needed to vent and get it out. Why is it guys can be like that? They will argue for a long time, and then the next minute, boom, they're friends again. Oh, it's no big deal. Come on, let's go have a drink. Let's go to a game. Oh my God, I don't know how they do it. Us women, we hold on to stuff for years. But yes, Chris had to shut it down. And then Chris was at one point, Marsau was like, you know what, we're having an event at Blaque, Bet on Blaque. You're invited. Chris was like, can I bring my wife? He's like, of course you bring your wife. And then he said, Martell, you're invited too. You could bring your whole harem of women. I'm like, oh my God. He like, come bring the sprinter bus with all your women and come have some fun. Martell was like, shut up. Y'all need to stop. So that was it with those men. They went on and threw some stuff out there that we didn't know about. Maybe when Tisha did buy the company and, became majority shareholder, maybe the company was in the negative. And maybe that's why Mel and Martell needed to get out of it, being partners or whatever. We don't know. They won't tell us everything. A lot of bloggers on here say we are not getting the full truth from all these couples, and they need to stop trying to pull the blinders over our eyes and actually tell us what's going on. But hey, that's what they say reality TV is about. They show you what they want you to see and keep the truth hidden. But with social media, it's coming out, girl. Did you guys see recently what happened with Destiny? So that's coming out too. I think I did a video on that, but I didn't get it up yet. I will. But yeah, next and last scene, we have Mel and Keke meeting up for lunch. Mel is letting us know she's going to the new hot spot, which is mid Huntsville or something to that effect. I forget what it's called, but she's having lunch with Keke. Keke shows up. She thought Keke wasn't gonna come. Keke was like, girl, of course I'm gonna come for you. She's like, just like how you didn't show up for the baby reveal. And Keke said something to her too, just get from under that. But she was like, it's okay, I had a situation going on or whatever. So she's like, so what's going on? So Mel is telling her about the town hall meeting, about the tension between Marsau and Stormy. Keke saying that she didn't know that Stormy and Marsau had beef. Yes, they have beef. And she's wondering what it was. But then she said she heard something about the $100, let me borrow $100 till tomorrow. And Mel was like, she wouldn't think that two multimillionaires would be going back and forth like that about $100. And Keke told her, it's not about the $100. Like we all say, it's the way he came at her about it and stuff. So they went, talked about that a little bit. So Mel was like, are you and Tisha in a better place? And Keke was like, I thought we were, but apparently not, because, we seem to be backtracking from each other. And then she tells Mel that she believes that Marsau, had an affair with a name. Of course, they blurred it out, saying that it was a time that Marsau, her and her two girlfriends, I think, went out for dinner, and one of them that Marsau is sleeping with, and they had a threesome. So of course, Mel's mouth fell to the floor just like mine did, and she was like, I can't believe that. So yeah, Marsau apparently, allegedly, was having an affair with somebody, and they had a threesome, and that is where the episode ended. So they always ended on a cliffhanger. So I'm gonna go watch episode 21 to find out what else was said and what else went down, and then I'm gonna come back and tell y'all about it. So yeah, that's where we are with it. Marsau does not want to be around Stormy anymore. Fred is still trying to get Martell out of the house. Marsau and Martell kind of are going at it because Martell feels that he's not appreciated, or he and Mel were not appreciated for everything that they did for Tisha and Marsau. Kimmy is still trying to, even in her recovery state, trying to please her husband. That's horrible of Maurice to expect so much of Kimmy. I wonder if the situation was turned, if he wouldn't be more sensitive to it. He would have to be, because then he would be in the situation and see how it feels. I hope and pray that he doesn't get ill, because maybe he'll understand then. But of course, Kimmy won't be as mean to him as he's being to her. So yep, so that's where we are with it. I hope that we get to see Nell and Chris at the next event and see where Keke and Tisha's relationship go forward. So yeah, guys, thank you for listening to my recap and my review. Be sure to thumbs up this video, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, be sure to take care of yourselves and your families. Bye-bye.